Hi, welcome back to Endless Horizons. I'm your host, Mark Lippman, and we're back for the second part of our adventures in Chicago. Today, our story is going to take a revolutionary twist as we meet up with the League of Revolutionaries for a New America, and then join with our fellow poet activists to call for a ceasefire in Gaza. That and so much more is in store for you, so sit back and stay tuned. It's all coming up next. Hey, so welcome back to Endless Horizons. We're here in Chicago today, the Windy City, right on Lake Michigan behind us at Loyola Park. And we're joined today by the League of Revolutionaries for a New America and an up-and-coming artist, guitarist, songwriter, and activist with them, Adam Gottlieb, who is an amazing person. And I just wanted to say hello to you and to ask what all is going on here today?
Man, so I have just been part of organizing this, so I am asking a little bit of that same question myself.
Okay, fair enough.
What I understand is that we're going to have an open mic at some point. We have, you and other poets in from out of town who are our special guests, our feature poets. And looking forward to also having some music in the mix. I know you and your work through Revolutionary Poets Brigade, and so we've advertised the event, as, poetry for the people, for justice.
Yes.
And I talk about the Revolutionary Poets Brigade and the history of that when I tell people about you and Vagabond Press and the Poetry Caravan. And so we'll see who comes out. It's a beautiful day. It is not too windy in the Windy City.
It's beautiful right today. The sun is coming out. Now, let me ask you something. The group here is the League of Revolutionaries for a New America.
Yeah.
What is that? For the people who out there who don't know, what is the League?
Yeah, the League is a political organization that I've been a part of since 2013. 12 years now. And it's an organization, as the name says, of revolutionaries, meaning folks who are consciously fighting to transform society to one where everyone has their basic needs met and more, where everyone has food and water, clean water, and a safe, sustainable planet, and healthcare, and a chance at education that is meaningful to them, and a chance to contribute to society. And so it's less of an ideological political organization than it is a practical political organization that is fighting for these basic needs with everyone who is also fighting for these basic needs all over the country and beyond, because ultimately, even though it says League of Revolutionaries for a New America, we understand that the struggle is international as well.
Worldwide.
Yeah, it's worldwide. And so I think the word revolution and the ideas around revolution have been a little scary to a lot of people for a long time, but I think our analysis in the League is just that this is happening to us and we are shaping it. It's not like I'm a revolutionary because I think I am. It's like I recognize that we live in a revolutionary time that is pushing more and more of us out of capitalism, out of the economy, out of a chance to survive and live a good, decent life worthy of a human being. And more of us are in that boat, and we gotta get together and make a revolution. We have to transform society and share the abundance according to need.
Well, it's sure that more and more people are falling out of the system. The system is actually designed for that.
Yeah.
And we are getting to a critical point, but when you speak of revolution, because maybe some of the people watching this are uncomfortable with that, what are we talking about when we say revolution? What are we actually looking for?
Yeah, so the way that my comrades in the League and the, traditions that we've studied have taught me to think about this question of revolution is that it is, as I said, ultimately something that starts with technology that disrupts the way that economies work, that changes the way that society organizes itself, that ultimately culminates in a political struggle for power. And so we have to be struggling in that struggle consciously and on all different fronts with all kinds of tactics. We have to take up space in the existing political system, even while we work to abolish the systems that just try to control us and oppress us and kill us, and expand the systems through which we have some amount of democratic governance over our own
True
autonomy.
democracy.
Yeah,
Yes.
autonomy, right?
Yes.
Right, exactly, which is what democracy is truly all about. And so yeah, to ultimately imagine a world beyond money, beyond the need for hoarding, beyond scarcity, using all of the abundance that is possible given the state of technology and human knowledge after all these hundreds of thousands of years of evolution, of human society and technology to this point, we can have a kind of paradise. You just look around the earth and it should be a paradise,
Yes.
and it can sustain
There is
the
actually
population.
plenty of resources for everyone.
Yeah.
I've heard a quote, it's like, it's not that we are incapable of feeding the poor, but we're not capable of satisfying the rich.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, well said.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I'm curious, one last question here. Because you're doing work in Chicago, what are some of the key things that you're working on here in Chicago?
Yeah. Well, my work over the last 2 years has been a lot in the solidarity movement with Palestine, recognizing that at the same time that they are bombing hospitals and homes and schools and universities in Gaza with our taxes, they are cutting the funds for all those same things for us here. And so there's a connection there that people do see and are organizing around. The war machine is killing the people of Gaza first and fastest, but it's ultimately killing all of us.
Yes.
There's a slow genocide happening through closing our hospitals and taking away our homes too. And so my work has been also a lot around the struggle for housing and in defense of homeless people and communities. But over the last couple years, especially because I have a role within Jewish communities here as the cantor, one of two cantorial soloists at Tzedek Chicago, which is our first officially anti-Zionist synagogue here in Chicago. I've been focused on, the cultural, spiritual, and specifically musical muscle of the
Lifting the
anti-genocide
consciousness.
movement.
Yes.
Yeah, and so I also co-founded a protest music collective called Songs for Liberation. We've been out on the streets, kind of like adding music to marches and rallies and events, and building coalition around the Palestinian cause and for freedom for all and liberation for all.
Now, you brought up an important point here about how, as we're killing people overseas, we're killing our own people here at home. And it was just announced, I think, like yesterday or the day before that, with this shift that's happening in Washington, shifting our money from needed services to the rich, to the billionaires. 14 million people are going to lose their health care.
It's horrible.
And this is just one symptom of that larger problem of capitalism.
Yeah.
Yes.
At a certain point, we have to call that what it is, which is what I just said is a slow genocide.
Yes.
It's not as fast as what's happening to the people of Gaza, but when people are going to die,
Yes.
maybe thousands, right? As a direct result of that. Yeah.
And with your work in Palestine, now, I can understand, because I can relate to this, is that as a Jew, seeking justice, human rights for all people must be a priority for you.
Yeah.
We've seen it happen to our grandparents and our great-grandparents.
Yeah.
And when we say never again,
Mhm.
it's never again for anyone.
Yeah, it's such a simple concept that I grew up with.
Yes.
That's what seemed obvious to Jewish communities and people in Jewish communities to me growing up. Um, and it wasn't actually until later that I started to become aware of how, our own historic trauma history has been weaponized to such an extent
Yes.
against the Palestinian people and ultimately against Jewish people too, who are
Yes.
not made safer
Yes.
by this Zionist
Yes.
project of just like fortress Judaism, you know? Yeah.
Well, thank you for that work. That is so important. And the question of Palestine, because a lot of people, are afraid to touch this
Yeah.
issue, but it winds up being connected to every other
That's right.
struggle that we have.
Yeah.
If we're not allowed to speak about Palestine and what's happening in Gaza and the West Bank
Right.
and Lebanon
Right.
and Syria,
Right.
okay, if we're not allowed to talk about this because it's taboo, if we're being censored,
Yeah,
then all of our struggles suffer.
that's right.
Because if we say, oh, you can do it there, well, then you can do it here as well.
That's right. That's right. Exactly. No, that's why it really is a basic need to stop the genocide machine for everyone. And look what's happening to student protesters like Mahmoud Khalil, right?
Yes.
And others who have just been rounded up in the most egregious, aggressive, fascistic ways.
Yeah. And this does have a much to do with the present administration, but we can't also ignore the past administration
Yeah.
and the one before that and the one before that and
Oh,
before that
if-
that led to where we are today.
Yeah, if we're talking about both the issue of Palestine and the issue of immigrant rights and immigrant safety, and we look at the way that deportations and ICE have been built up as a machine over the last 4 or 5 presidential
Yes,
administrations,
yes.
Democrat and Republican, we see a clear trend
Yes.
moving toward where we are now.
So they're actually in cahoots against the people of this country.
Yeah, and it's becoming more and more clear, I think, to more and more of us. The question then is like, what do we do about it? How do we organize? And yeah, that brings us back to this question of what is revolution and what does it mean to organize in revolutionary ways. I think we have to just keep working around our common causes, our common struggles. And that brings us back to the question of basic needs, human rights, like the essentials for everyone. Let's start there.
And it also starts with the artists, with the musicians, with the
Right.
poets, with those who are lifting up those difficult questions,
Yes.
raising consciousness.
Telling the stories of the
Yes.
struggle, also giving the vision of the world we're fighting for, because we can't just stay in reaction mode all the time.
Because
right?
we
That's what they
have
want.
to develop a vision
Yeah.
that we can actually believe in and achieve.
Right.
Because I don't know about you, but I grew up in the 20th century. And I have a living memory of a world in relative peace, that we had hope for the future.
Sure.
And since 9/11,
Yeah.
that hope has systematically been stripped away and disappeared from us, that at this point in time, we have an entire generation growing up having no hope
That's right.
in a future for themselves.
Yeah, I identify with that a lot. I'm basically right in the middle of the so-called millennial generation. I was in 6th grade when 9/11 happened, and really, like, the election of George Bush right before that in 2000 was the first time I started kind of paying attention to politics, and a lot of folks my age was the same thing. And then when we saw 9/11 happen, we saw the whole reaction of, the racist and Islamophobic like culture around the war machine kick into gear, and everything that has happened since then, what we're seeing right now in Palestine is all connected to that, is all a part of that. And so yeah, I think the folks even younger than me have a even darker kind of experience and vision, and really it's
Will they make it to 30?
Will we have a planet worth giving to our next generation?
Exactly.
It's a very serious existential question. And so, again, I do think that the cultural workers, the poets, the singers, the artists, the theater makers, all of us have the ability to like tell the stories, to do the healing and grieving work, and tell the story of what we're moving into, and keep bringing more and more people into that. You know.
Oh, that's fantastic. Well, Adam, thank you for joining us here today.
Sure. Thank you.
We're here again at Loyola Park in Chicago on this beautiful Memorial Day weekend, right on Lake Michigan. We're having poetry, we're having social justice, we're having a lot of great friends coming together to work to make this world a better place, and you too can be a part of this. So stay tuned for more.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
All right, if you're glad to be alive today, say yeah.
Yeah.
Como tú, por Roque Dalton. Las cosas, el dulce encanto de los días de enero. También mi sangre bulle y río por los ojos que han conocido el brote de las lágrimas. Creo que el mundo es bello y que la poesía es como el pan de todos. Y que mis venas no terminan en mí, sino en la sangre unánime de los que luchan por la vida, las cosas, el paisaje y el pan, la poesía de todos. Like You by Roque Dalton. Like you, I love life, the sweet smell of things, the sky blue landscape of January days. And my blood boils up, and I laugh through eyes that have known the buds of tears. I believe the world is beautiful, and that poetry, like bread, is for everyone. And that my veins don't end in me, but in the unanimous blood of those who struggle for life, love, little things, landscape, and bread, the poetry of everyone. Translated by Jack Hirschman. Thank you. Make some noise if you're happy to be here today. But I'm going to pass the mic right now to the person who will be introducing our special guest from out of town. Mark Lippman has been a publisher and a poet and a revolutionary and an organizer of cultural workers and poets in particular for a long time, and is leading this poetry caravan on this national tour, Vagabond Poetry Caravan. He's the founder of Vagabond Press, which I know through publishing the Revolutionary Poets Brigade anthologies and other anthologies over the last many years. So you can see the bus right there. This is their halfway point around across the country. I'll let him tell you about that, share some poetry, and it looks like some music with y'all, and also introduce all of the poets who are our featured artists today. I believe there's 6 of them, and then we so far have 5 open micers after that. Feel free to find me or find this list and sign up for the open mic if you haven't already. Yeah, when I say open, you say mic, open, mic. Open. Mic. When I say speak, you say truth, speak, truth. Speak. Truth. And when I say free, you say the people, free, the people. Free, the people. Free, the people. Free. And give it up for Mark Lippman, y'all.
Thank you. I like to shake it up before I thank it up, and I want to thank Adam and Lou and Diane and everyone who has helped put this together. We got a huge turnout today, which is fantastic. Love you guys. Love you, Eric. Thank you. And love all you guys for being here today and to make something here in Chicago that is both about poetry and about revolution. Bringing our people together for social justice, for the causes that affect our lives. Now, I'm part of what we call the Vagabond Poetry Caravan. We've got a group of poets from around the country crisscrossing on a 6,500-mile cross-country journey on peace and building a vision for a better world. And I am honored to be a part of this. So thank you very much first for having us here today. Second thing, I want to read a poem for Adam because we had a conversation before people showed up, and this speaks very much to what we were talking about. It's called "The Border Crossed Us." Yeah. I step into a land where my ancestors planted our family tree over 1,000 years ago. I have known no other sand between my toes, under my feet. This is my only home. One day, though, a stranger arrived, sat down at our table, drank our wine, ate our bread, raped our women, burnt our village, then declared me illegal. The color of my skin, the language on my tongue, the God that I chose to believe in, demonized in order to justify their cruelty. My peace, simply a broken olive branch cut from the tree they tore down. My home, rubble beneath the tracks of their bulldozers. All I've ever had, all I've ever known, all taken from me. My blood turned into their gold. My heart broken from generations of lies and betrayals. If you cut me, do I not bleed? Crushed beneath the boot of technology by persons with no soul or body to touch, with no heart to feel, eyes blinded by hatred, ears closed to any reason, mouths shut out of fear. Comfortably tucked away in their beds while human beings die in the streets under the batons and artillery shells of a militarized police state, wrapping oneself in a flag, worse yet, a religion, while making excuses for genocide, sanctioning the murder of children. News actors continue to blame the victims, force-feeding us lies, calling us terrorists because we were born into the land that they coveted. Who is the real enemy? The one who believes in something different than you, or the one who uses what you believe in to change who you are? There is no escaping the soul staring back in the mirror. Regardless of the shifting lines on some map, human rights have no borders.
Come on.
Thank you. Thank you very much for that. Thank you. I appreciate that. We've got a great bunch of people coming up, and I want to bring up my co-conspirator, co-founder of all this trouble that we're creating around the country here. The guy who spent the last 10 years bucking the system to create a poetry movement that really is to be reckoned with. It's social justice of working class at its root, and it's happening in New Jersey under the banner of Poetry Renaissance. Give it up for the founder of the New Jersey Poetry Renaissance, Damian Rucci.
All right.
What's up, everybody? Thank you so much for having us here. This is beautiful. Make some noise for everybody who made this happen. It's beautiful. Yeah, we're on this really big poetry tour, and fascism is on the rise. The fascists aren't coming; they're already here.
Talk about it.
And we're coming around, and we're hitting city to city to find out the real America, to find it, to look for it. There's an America they show you on television. There's America you find about on the bottom when you walk the streets and you see what's really going on with working people, what they're standing upon. There's a little bit of a poem about that, too. This is called Poets Like Us.
Come on.
There are poets whose poems are written on dollar bills, whose parents bought them a degree in Iowa, whose good looks fill workshops in Manhattan. And then there's poets like us, who chase America, whose poems are written from dirty fingers, who smoke dope on the roofs of bars, counting the hundreds of Missouri stars, who chase down despair with cheap beer and laughter, who carve the American highways with tire treads, who read to basement dwellers in small town Kansas, who breathe American, not football on Sundays American, not bombs in the Middle East American, not Trail of Tears American, but the America that Whitman breathed, that Emerson, that Twain, that Dickinson, that Angelou, the America that Kerouac searched for. There are poets who die forgotten, whose words become symphonies in the wind, whose heartbeats become our rhythm, whose books sit on shelves waiting for lost poets to find them in corner bookstores, whose spirits become our ethos, whose names we can't remember. And this is the future we share. Even Neil Cassidy died alone on those railroad tracks, too. Along the highways of Mother America, hidden from the cool glow of strip mall America, shunned from the university America, there are poets who read poems to strangers and friends and other lost souls, And those nights are dirty and holy and inspiring. And the street poets search for the truth between each line of poetry sung into the microphone and bled into the page. Their doctrines are in the manifestos of the gas station bathroom walls. The soul graffiti of the wayward bastards drifting west past the Mississippi in pursuit of cheap rent and peace with nothing but hope in their bellies and words in their head. Somewhere in Blue Springs, Missouri, Jason Baldinger tells us it's all about the road. The books will sell, and sometimes they don't sell, but it's about the adventure between the stops, the drives through Kansas blasting jazz. It's about the faces along the back roads of America, the poetry you can find out there, and the poetry that needs to be found. 3, outside of a Waffle House on the highway, Sean Pavey reads us a poem about Waffle House. And we laugh in the parking lot, smiling as the lone moon grows full above the clouds. We wave goodbye too soon. The adventure is over by the morning. We will head back to our homes and our jobs, but the road will keep on moving. The sun will rise and set behind strange landscapes. There are easier paths in this life. There are jobs that trade the human spirit for credit cards and jewels. But the street poet's born to be outside of it all. Born to take it to the streets with poems in hand, born to follow the vagabond sunset to its coast, and I can feel this in my bones.
Yeah.
Say it with me. The American dream is only for those who can afford it. Come on, one more time. The American dream is only for those who can afford it. The rest of us sleep dreamless. With empty pockets, we find our vices and use anything to get us to tomorrow. And that tomorrow, it feels a lot like today. But we all have some big fantasy. I guess we all have an armored truck. Thank you guys, I'm Damien Rucci. All right, coming up next is my brother, the host of the New England Poetry Renaissance. Makes noise for Jeremiah Walton.
Yesterday was a disaster as we entered your city. Those are stories for the bar later.
Okay.
The gist is all my stuff is currently in the back of my friend's car on the way to Columbus, Ohio, and that's the most minor of the incidents. So I wanted to start with something soft. I wanted to start with something kind of welcoming and grounding. And to do that, I got to make sure y'all got love up here, right?
Yeah.
Y'all been in love?
Yeah.
All right. Any of y'all been in a codependent relationship? I hear ya. Now, was there a part of your heart that kind of found that spicy? Got a little bit of a kick out of it?
Yeah.
This poem is called Hellbound and Hungry. Because my love is a parachute, and neither of us are gonna stick the landing. But the view, the rush of wind.
Rush of wind in our hair, dice in our eyes, laughter in our hips. We are in free fall in all of Sonora, tumbles, starlight yellow, saguaro green, big open blue in all directions as we whip through clouds like great big gray brains. Remembering, Leather Jacket Miami Midnight, where we unlatch the back door of some suburban art collective and eat chorizo cubano seasoned with petty theft and drink their IPAs and flee when lights flash sick white, revealing my pale ass, your tattooed breasts, and that flat-faced security guard saying, "You can't keep this up forever." We didn't need forever. We know Earth is rushing to meet us. We know the patches on our parachute won't hold. We know Alabama flea market corn dripping butter down our chins and bruised coast and yellow lines and tire marks and the smell of a Denny's and 3 a.m. Reno and how afraid sky stars are of LA. But when America's neon hieroglyphs fade in the rear view and we are wandering Oaxaca's jazz-cobbled streets, those sky stars leaned closer when you laid your head on my chest and said, "We can't keep doing this forever." But our view, our rush of wind in hair, dice in eyes, lion on our breath, lives we leapt from cruise away at 20,000 feet, their engines' roars mark our hearts with wildfire hunger and fire. It spreads through touch, and all we're holding on to is each other, and we know gravity isn't afraid. We're going down swinging. And before we land, I just want to say, that relationship is done. Coming up next to the stage is the one and only, just jumped on tour, Scott Ladotti.
All right, thank you, Chicago. I did just jump on a tour with these guys, and they very graciously took me on. My new friend Mark over there is leading us. Thank you, Mark. So ever since I read
Is it fun?
it's so much fun.
Right.
It's been 12 hours. I've already sliced my finger. That guy got punched in the face last night.
Lots of fun.
But we slept in a Marriott. Rock and roll. I've always wanted to play in Chicago since I read The Jungle when I was 16, and then someday I'll come to a Mayday here. But I hope you guys had fun this year.
Yeah, we did.
This is a punk song I wrote when I was 16, and it somehow is still relevant. So. My boss says please lock up when you are done. It's getting late and I'm going home to write some songs about expense. Dead I owe to my government so I can buy presents on this Christmas. Maybe I should just go to war. All of the contracts will be ignored. Eventually, at the end of the week, I could write some more. After I've gotten some sleep and I'm all done with work, to write some songs about expense. The debt I owe to my government so I can buy presents on this Christmas. Maybe I should just go to war. All of the contracts will be ignored, but I guarantee I'll have in the bank no pension plans to cover the rest. Maybe I should just go to war. My options are so limited. How do I save my health? My insurance has been cut. My teeth are yellow and sometimes my gums hurt. Put a hotel inside that shopping mall. Cut the costs, we'll drink the oil. And a condo in that forgotten park. The berries get played together after the roads get wider as the cars get bigger. The roads get wider as the cars get bigger. The roads get wider as the cars get bigger. The roads get wider as the cars get bigger. Thank you. I haven't played that in 20 years, so thank you very much.
My name is Rita S. Spalding, and I'm from Louisville, Kentucky. I am humbled and honored to be a part of the Vagabond Poetry Tour, and I hope you will forgive me. I do not have protest poems today, but my life has been a protest from the beginning. I have been defying gravity. I always like to start with something soft that tells you a little bit about me. This goes back to my childhood. I was about 12 years old, and it's called Fish Eyes. If y'all have been fishing, you might know a little bit about how this feels. I always fished with a bamboo pole, and I loved it. Fish eyes. With perfect clarity, I recall full afternoon on Salt River, a shoreline of Sundays, tarnished brown with golden leaves, down the narrow path that almost buried memories in their dust. The trail was winding, of course, as most trails find us in their curves. Bamboo fishing pole tossed over a woman-child's shoulder, hooked around the bottom of a dream, in between worlds of growing and staying. They baited when he looked in her eyes and asked if it was mascara he saw, and why was she wearing it, since fish didn't need mascara to be caught for a skillet. He cast his line into a ripple and waited for a fish, for an answer, for his daughter to stay a child. Yes, it's mascara, and it's not to bait flipping fish in a dirty river. It's to catch the blue-eyed boy across the pond who smiles and wants me to chase the rest of Sunday with him, who doesn't care about fish or bait or what hit him so quickly he couldn't give it a name. He turned his head and reeled the line. Silent, he cast again and then again, and he said mascara was a terrible bait. He shed a tear that leaked from his heart, and she just smiled as the fish clamored to be hooked, to swim happily in her bucket, not even realizing they'd been caught, ready for cornmeal and an iron skillet.
Yeah.
Are we winning the war against ourselves, and can we share the same air as our brethren, who will be swept by the winds of malevolence and suffocated by madness? Is there truth left if we thrown away all authenticity? Does Buddha know best, God, Yahweh, or Satan? Can the Zen-like state be attained with Western psyche blushing bastardly and chewing out corpses and spitting out factory fodder? Is there space left for our children? Do they deserve a future? Will anyone be left to enjoy this beautiful place? Are we still allowed to dream? Can you still be beautiful and free?
Yes.
Wow. Yeah.
What is up, Chicago? My name is Alex Ragsdale. I'm a New Jersey-based poet and musician. We have gone 3,300 miles to be here. We are so happy to be here in Chicago. Thank you for having us.
Welcome to Chicago.
We appreciate it, man. I want a deep dish. You let me know where I can get one of those after this.
Well, not far from
That's
here.
not the
Anywhere.
only. That's not the only kind of pizza we like.
I'm sure.
I mean,
So,
you might have been told otherwise.
Yeah.
But, we do.
you're right about that. So,
There are some bars, man. You walk in, and what the fuck? I'm sorry. Go ahead.
can I read you guys a poem that Jeremiah Walt and I got called communists for?
Yeah.
Hell yeah. This is called Utopia. I'd buy up a bunch of land just so they couldn't develop on it. Sow fields of everlasting sustenance to show hungry souls nature provides. House all the orphans left in the system. Take in all the strays they'd rather euthanize. Dismantle the machines and scavenge them like the Indians did the plains buffalo. Have them drink water instead of petrol. Convert all the garbage into resources. Establish a school anyone could go to, no matter how rich or poor. With a library of abundant knowledge for all eyes willing. Abolish leaders and their false prophetics. Burn all the money because it's worthless anyway. Draw power from the sun and its omnipotence. Build homes for anyone despite their class. Disregard class systems entirely. They are useless. Pacify all the warmongers and melt down their boomsticks into bassinets so they could care for children instead of killing them. Then turn all their bombs into fireworks just so we all had something pretty to look at together. I'd like to thank you all very much for having us today. We really appreciate it. But most importantly, I'd like to bring up the next person in our caravan, and that would be Dan Denton, a fantastic poet from Toledo, Ohio.
My name's Dan Denton. I'm from Toledo, and I spent over half of my adult life working as a union auto worker on the assembly line building Jeeps. And then I got elected as a chief union steward. And then I got elected as a constitutional delegate and got to help bring some progressive change to our union recently, before taking our early retirement to be a writer. So anytime I'm in Chicago, I always feel like I'm home amongst my working class artist brethren. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like being in Toledo, I get called a lot of dirty names sometimes because maybe I'm a little too liberal than the deer hunting Democrats are. But in Chicago, I always feel like I'm home. In the city that, gave us Haymarket Affair and the Pullman, auto strike. So. Or the Pullman train strike. All right, I'm going to read this one last poem. This is my latest revolutionary poem, and I'm sorry for the tour people. They've heard me read it like 4 times this week now, but it's my latest revolutionary poem, so I got to read it. It's called I Am Waiting. For the cash register clerk at the local grocery store to put down her frock and walk through the automatic sliding doors and outside to join a revolution not yet started. For the rural postal carrier that drives a gold Oldsmobile to dump mail sacks from his trunk and drive away to find a revolution not yet started. For the local warehouse workers of a large national home improvement chain to get off their forklift trucks and put down their shipping label guns and grab their still full lunch buckets and head out liberated into a revolution not yet started. For the college students to drop their textbooks and defy the authority that they should naturally question and leave their classrooms to join a revolution not yet started. For the men in their cups down at the local tavern to put down their bottles and arise stumbling from their rickety bar stools, lurching into the light of day and into a revolution not yet started. For the construction workers to lay down their tools and remove their orange safety vests. For factory workers to shut down their machines and flood the exit gates like children on the last day of school and yip and yell and jubilee, joining a revolution not yet started. For the miners to come forth from the bowels of the earth and leave their hard hats and picks in piles at the mouths of the rich man's caves, and without washing their faces smile to join a revolution not yet started. For doctors and nurses to remove their stethoscopes and abandon their blood pressure cuffs and throw off their white lab coats and stand up to a healthcare system they know is broken and join a revolution not yet started. I am waiting. I am waiting for line cooks to shut down their grills, for truck drivers to kill their engines, for office workers to unplug their copy machines. I am waiting for the garbage men to leave the garbage to collect itself, for janitors to lay down their brooms and leave their dustpans behind, and for municipal workers to abandon their municipalities and walk away from the bureaucracy and join a revolution not yet started. For clouds to let go their parasails and come crashing down to earth in great kamikaze ponds, and for the trees to shake loose their limbs and roar with the wind, bringing tenor to the song of a revolution not yet started. For mothers and fathers and brothers and sisters to join hands with neighbors near and far. For songwriters to hoist their guitars. For poets to pick up their pens. For painters to lift their brushes. For saxophonists and trumpeters to toot their horns and join a revolution not yet started. I am waiting for one voice to cry into the night, and for one shred of hope, and for the sun to awaken the arsonists, to light the fires that lead the anarchists, to rally the punks and unite the hippies, to invite the queers to bring their rainbows and march in solidarity as one in a revolution not yet started. I am waiting. Thank you guys. I appreciate you guys hosting us tonight or today. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hand together for Ohio poet Jess Bryant.
Could we not have picked a more beautiful day to be here together?
I know.
What gorgeous community we have, yes? We survive. We are exhausted, war-torn, and weather-beaten survivors. We have been starving on the streets and a stranger in our own homes. We are the dudists that still attend church 3 times a year to make their mother-in-law smile. We're the world's poets and back alley artists whose brilliance will never be discovered or appreciated. We're expected to navigate all of this chaos with directions from unreliable secondhand sources like politics and religion. We're the single mother with 2 prescriptions to fill, mother's little helper and one for her ADHD child that'll never be served next to their Flintstones so mommy can work extra shifts. Life has made us hard and love has turned on us like a rabid animal at least once, throwing out I love yous like Monday morning trash just to get what we want far too many times. We waterboard ourselves with tears spilled for injustice, for untreated mental health, because we have hungry and homeless humans in every goddamn city. Tears made of war, extremism, cruelty, and collateral damage. We are all broken and pieced back together over and over, reshaped, molded, and bound by circumstances, happenstance, karma, and our own bad decisions. And we still make time to have hope. We are still creating art and enjoying books. We remain loyal and believe in equality. We allow ourselves to fall in love, especially if it's with the same person again and again. We still have silver-lined rainbows and daydreams, and we still try to believe.
Yes.
Thank you. I believe we actually have one more. Wesley, would you like to come up?
What's up?
You are.
Oh man.
What a night last night.
Yeah. Jesus Christ. Yeah, my name is Wesley Hine, and I host the Poetry Open Mic at the Gallery Cabaret every fourth Saturday here in Chicago. So I see a lot of writers here, so you're all welcome to join us. The next one is on June 28th. And yeah, it starts at 5 p.m., all different styles. And oh my God, we had a night last night. Jesus Christ.
What did Jerry do?
What did Jerry not do? All right, let's keep it moving here. The city sounds like an ocean as cars cut the inky night and street lamps dance underwater. Orange windows full of sleeping skulls sway in the haloed Chicago sky. 10 years ago, we were just kids pretending to be grown up. We spent neon evenings burning chemicals to the forehead. I could barely stand myself, slumped in the corner naked. We hid together, broke, dreaming of wild years to come. We fell in love, but we didn't tell each other because we were too cool. We crouched in murky rooms, drinking away the humidity and toasting rain. We screamed and yawned at those who dared to play it safe, who dared to waste their lives by building them. I spent forever contemplating eternity, and each moment trying to black out. I've wasted my life trying to find the meaning of life. Now I drown in layers of irony and contradiction. I've wiped my ass with the angels and spent years trying to forgive myself. I sat in alleys beating a drum while monkeys chewed money grinning. You sucked the fire out of my belly and I gave you the salt of the earth. Your diamond chin slept in my thighs and we had the same dream that night. I cried all over you like a baby breastfeeding. You still think there's a future, and no matter how much I drink, I still have all the memories. A bottle being rubbed like a genie lamp after midnight. Nothing has changed, but everything is different. Another lost night, finding only myself. We always knew it would end ugly like this, but we're still surprised. This city incubates our madness. These streets have the ghosts of our former selves on each corner, waiting for a bus, hailing a cab, kissing goodbye, not knowing it's our last time. Like eating a meal with something on your mind. We've become our real selves and no longer care about the novelty of whatever our real selves might look like. We're not going to die before we're 30 anymore, but there. Got to think of something more to do. We've survived. We're free, and we're not afraid of anything. So, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to join these gentlemen across this country and see what's left of it. We're going to go all the way to Los Angeles and, yeah, see if we can lift some spirits and lift a glass. And
So, hey, Lou, thank you so much for hosting us here today.
It was a pleasure.
Yeah, we had such a great time down at the Loyola Park there. So many people turned out. How did you organize all this? How did you put this together?
Well, a lot of it is just having had these contacts for many years.
Uh-huh.
So one of the things that we were thinking about was what are the different organizations, poetry groups that we could get in touch with to let them know what was happening and to have them come meet you. And the other thing that was important for us, really, was that in the league, we felt we owed you a great debt for the work that you've done over the years, not just the production of that anthology, which of course is important, but just the work that you've done connecting all these poets and developing the unity of this community. So we felt a special obligation.
Well, I appreciate it. Thank you very much for that support, Lou. That means a lot to me. How do you feel that the poets are being connected today?
Well, there are a lot of poets who read today who didn't know each other. That's the first thing.
Mm.
I mean, of course, there are the out-of-town poets
Mm-hmm.
who heard the Chicago poets
Mm-hmm.
for the first time.
Mm-hmm.
But there are also people who were in the, in the mix who didn't know each other from Chicago.
Mm.
And that's because Chicago is a segregated city.
Mm.
Different groups in different parts of the city.
Mm.
Less so perhaps now than it was when I first came to
Mm.
Chicago, but nevertheless, that's true. And the other thing is, and this is maybe even more important in a way, because it's nice that poets get to meet each other. But what I think was really special about today was so many people just wandering by on this wonderful day had a chance to see what was going on and to understand that there were people speaking in the way that they were speaking. That's a big difference from what people normally see. And I know you and I have talked about how many people think that it's hopeless, can't do anything, da 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 da. Well, I think people got a chance to meet other people or see other people who were doing something and give them some enthusiasm, some possibilities of moving forward.
Wow, that's beautiful. Thank you so much, Lou. You know, I was noticing a lot of those same things happening where many of the people who joined us just were walking by and just stopped to find out what was going on and then started engaging. Some even got up on the open mic and joined us.
Well, the first person in particular, the first person on the open mic was this young kid. I don't know, 5, 6 years old. He and his mother were just walking by earlier on, and Diana glommed onto them and showed them a flyer for the event and told them what was happening. She said, come on back, and they did. And what was interesting to me was they stayed for the half hour or more, actually, that the out-of-town poets were reading. The little kid was, obviously he had his attention issues, but he hung out and did for that and read his piece. And that was really gold.
Yeah.
It was just gold.
Yeah. It's connecting the community as we were talking about. Yes.
Exactly.
Well, Luke, thank you again so much for hosting us here in Chicago. Wanted to give a special shout out to you and the work that you're doing with the League of Revolutionaries for a New America. And we spoke earlier with Adam about the League as well and the work that's been going on locally. And it's a great thing knowing that our poets are so connected to the community here in Chicago.
That's true. That's true. Yeah. And just one quick shout out, because I just want to say that the poets are connected to the community in community work, but the work of poetry is work as well. And one should never underestimate the importance of the work of poetry. It's not just that, work around the homeless, work around housing is important. Yes, it is. But the work around poetry is important too.
Well, thank you so much again. That's wonderful, Lou. Thank you for welcoming us here to Chicago.
You're welcome.
Everyone, this is Bisan from Gaza, and this is the best time to tell you that I am still alive.
The sun still rises over Palestine. The sun still rises in the sky. The sun still rises over Palestine. The sun still rises over high.
No matter how many bombs that they drop from the sky, the sun still rises over Palestine. No matter how much death pierces all our eyes, the sun still rises over Palestine. No matter how many people we watch and die, The sun still rises over Palestine. No matter what they try to do to you and I, we sending love to our relatives in Palestine. No matter how many lies, how they conquer and divide, the sun still rises over Palestine. They try to occupy the land but can't occupy our minds. The sun still rises over Palestine. No matter how many times we've seen a falling high rise, the sun still rises over Palestine. And no one can stop the light, how it fills up your eyes, the way the sun shines from a Palestine sunrise. The sun still rises over Palestine. The sun still rises in the sky. The sun still rises over Palestine. The sun still rises and it shines. The sun still rises over Palestine. The sun still rises in the sky. The sun still rises over Palestine. And it's the light of the sun that shines, that helps us see through the eyes of the people that's moving and alive. The sun still rises. The sun still shines. The sun still rises. And no one can stop the light, how it fills up your eyes, the way the sun shines from a Palestine sunrise.
Okay, so here we go. Like I said, we've just been invited to participate in an anti-war poetry music event happening right across from the Federal Building in Chicago. And our bus has just been invited to be a part of the setup. So we're gonna see how we get in this, if we get in a mess or if we get in something more like gold. But here we go. Now hold on, because we're about to do something here. Alrighty. Brilliant. We just made the day.
I kind of want you at an angle though.
Okay, how do you want me? Like at a diagonal?
Right here, yeah.
You want the door inside or out?
The door right here, inside. Right
Inside. Okay, I'm there.
Right
I'm there.
Yeah,
Perfect. Thank you so much. Now let's just hope we don't break Chicago. Yeah. Beautiful. Beautiful. Yeah. All right, here we are. Oh. Now, real quick, tell me what's going on here today.
Ceasefire, Chicago. Yo, peace. My name is Quasi the Poet, brand strategist KGPR. This is our second annual Memorial Holiday Weekend Ceasefire Social Impact Initiative. The peace, love, forgiveness, poetry, and comedy on the block. Today is our final day, our encore of poetry and comedy. But we also have some visual artists and some poets that just pulled up.
Yeah, the Vagabond Poetry Caravan is live here, and this is a fantastic event. Thank you for including us.
No, thank you for being here. I became a poet. My younger brother Lamont was killed tragically 33 years ago. Writing poetry empowered me to write me and to forgive the two men who shot and killed Lamont to make peace. Hence, the peace, love, forgiveness, poetry, and comedy on the block. Follow me on Instagram at Quasi the Brand. KWEISI the Brand. Quasi, KWEISI the Brand. Continue to follow the journey, Chicago, America, the world. It's getting better and better by the moment, like a fine wine. Peace, love, and forgiveness.
Thank you, Casey.
I said to all my people, I got something to say. I got something to say to all my people. I got something to say. I got something to say to all my people. I got something to say. I got something to say. Our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us. We ask ourselves, who am I to be talented, fabulous, gorgeous, brilliant? Actually, who are you not to be? You are a child of God. I am a child of God. You are a child of God. Your playing small does not serve the world. There is nothing enlightened about you shrinking so that others won't feel insecure around you. You were born to shine as children do. You were made to make manifest. You were made to make manifest the glory of God that is within us. It is just that in some of us, it is in everyone. And as we let our own light shine, we unconsciously give other people permission to do the same. As we are liberated by our own fear, our presence automatically liberates others. As I am liberated by my own fear, as I am liberated by my own fear, my presence automatically liberates you. Yeah, one love. That piece was an excerpt from President Nelson Mandela's inaugural speech in South Africa in May 1994. It was written by Mary Ann Williamson with a little Quasi-ism. I want to send some love out to my son, Navon, and my daughter, Nivriel, who reintroduced me to that piece over a decade ago as it was a part of their reading and studying curriculum at Precious Fruit Daycare in Los Angeles. So with that being said, we'll bring up, traveling the country right now, poet Mark Lippman. Let's give it up for Mark Lippman. Yeah.
Hello, Chicago! Thank you, Quasi, for bringing us up here. What a wonderful event to call for justice in this world. Thank you for your second annual event for a ceasefire here. My name is Mark Lipton. I'm with the Vagabond Poetry Caravan. This is our halfway point on a 6,500-mile cross-country zigzag on the themes of peace and building a vision for a better world. We're on my bus further here, and we're here in Chicago and laying down some truth for you. So I'm just going to kick it off with a poem, and I just want to say to you, friends, comrades, fellow human beings, lend me your ears. We have come here today to bury fascism, not to praise it, not to negotiate with it, not to give it a chance, but to put it in its rightful grave. The evil that men do lives after them. Though memories be short in the computer age, we still remember that we have been down this road before and pledged to ourselves never again. We did not come here to fear the future, but to confront it head on and shape it with our own hands in the names of democracy and justice, not just for the wealthy. For the deeds of men live on, and we remember the generations of lies and betrayals, the wars for profits to line the pockets of the greedy few, while Wall Street thugs direct our economy to the sound of applause from both sides of the aisle, making backroom deals to handshakes and smiles, all the while leaving we, the people, hanging out to dry. So we have come here to remind you precisely what the words of, by, and for really mean. And just in case you're unable to read between these lines, allow me to define what we have come here to say. Enough! Our future is not for sale. Our rights as human beings include things like healthcare and retirement, a clean environment, good education, and a home to live in, guaranteed regardless of one's stature, just like any other responsible country on this planet, simply for the fact of being a human being. For the deeds of men live on, and it's about time that we started to live up to our true potential. So we have come here today to bury fascism. If you think it's safe to attack someone because they're black, Latino, Asian, Muslim, gay, female, poor, or just simply different because they're weaker than you, then you've got another thing coming. Remember, the people are united. When you mess with any of us, you mess with all of us. Now, we did not come here to spoil your breakfast, but to make it manifest that our destiny is our own. And woe to those who do not know. The government is there to serve the people. Now sit back, relax, enjoy your day. Do not be forlorn. For what you see here, this is simply the calm before the storm. Thank you very much. My name is Mark Clipman. Unfortunately, that's all the time we have today. But thank you so much for joining us. And make sure to tune in next time for part 3 of our hijinks in Chicago, as our journey takes some unexpected twists as we continue our adventures across America, next time on Endless Horizons. But until then, remember to follow your dreams and keep your eye on the horizon.
What do you think the problem with our last tour was?
I think maybe it's because we took an 8-hour train from Manhattan to Depew and we smashed a bottle of Buffalo Trace, did an Instagram live yelling at the camera, and then stumbled outside to our sober friend. That wasn't the best start.
Bad start, and it never got any better.
This is Kermit the Frog returning you to your regularly scheduled program. Boy, these nursery rhymes get weirder all the time. That's weird. That's weird.